California's obviously place that I lived in for 24 years. Yesterday, Giancarlo asks Tom, so did you ever live in California? He says, my entire life growing up. And then you lived there as well
Almost
for
18 years.
Or 18 years. So we love the state. Guy next me saying, what problem do we have with California? Don't you realize that this is the most incredible climate in the world with incredible data? I said, yes. But your policies suck, and they're pushing a lot of good people out, especially with this one. Let me read it to you. California approved 17% rate increase for State Farm, okay? 17% rate increase for State Farm. So this 17% rate increase for homeowners insurance effective June 1st, after the insurer requested a 22% hike, they said 22. California agreed to 17, citing a dire situation post-LA fires. Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara stated, we are in a statewide insurance crisis affecting millions of Californians, calling it a tough compromise. Consumer watchdogs Carmen Balber criticizes the decision, saying it adds insult to injury for homeowners facing delayed or lowball claims. State Farm financial distress was acknowledged by administrative judge who found the company is experiencing extraordinary financial stress coupled with surplus depletion that threatens ongoing business operations. Laura noted State Farm must justify its financial conditions and detail its recovery plan at a fall hearing. And this is for homeowners insurance. For renters, you ready? I'm going to let Tom give you guys what the renters insurance increased by. Go ahead, Tom.
And ready for this? It goes up 15% for renters and condos. However, 38% if it's not a condo. So condos got their own little lane, but they gave State Farm permission to raise it 38%.
So I'm renting a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah, 3
from
bedrooms,
somebody.
2 bath.
My renter's insurance, I was paying $2,000 a year. Now I'm paying $2,800 a year.
That is right.
Jeez.
You're up to $2,800. So that $800 is like a car payment. That's huge. And what's very interesting to me is I dug into this, and the administrative law judge, Carl Frederick Seligman, he said, well, this is because of weather events. Another devastating extreme weather event would nearly eliminate State Farm's surplus. Their surplus was $2.24 billion. Now, this is what an insurance surplus is. An insurance surplus is the money they have to set aside because someone's car is going to get stolen, someone's car is going to be in an accident, or you're going to have a fire in your kitchen, no one gets hurt, but you got to rebuild part of your house. That is what insurance is for. And so State Farm, when they sell X number of policies, they have to keep putting money in a savings account to cover all this stuff. Mm-hmm. They had $2.6 billion in it until Palisades burned down. And all the fires in California, led by the Palisade. There was also other ones that were just horrifying. And now they're down to $620 million. So they put $1.6 billion, whoosh, out into people's hands. Now, those people deserve it because they paid for a policy with State Farm, and they suffered a terrible loss. Mm-hmm. Well, now the judge says, hey, they're down to $620 million, and if there's another weather-related event, boy, that would eliminate their surplus. What's he blaming, Vinny? He's blaming weather.
Yeah.
Weather event.
Yeah.
He's not looking at the empty reservoirs, the fire department equipment that wasn't in working order, hydrants that weren't working, and also decisions that they made about not asking PG&E to clear brush and things. No one's looking at that. Oh, it's just the weather. So it basically is taking the bureaucrats, Richard Lara and them out of it and not putting it on people that says, wait a minute. Okay, so we got this situation, and you're right, with only $620 billion, these people, $1 million, these people could be in deep water, State Farm, but no one's looking at what was going on PBD before all the public policies and the mismanagement of things that led it to be such a devastating era. And when all the neglect was there, what happened when the wind and fire came to Palisades? Bawoosh. And the fire department was unarmed to do anything about it.
Here's a question, though, Tom. All that stuff we're talking about, that's not State Farm's problem, okay? State Farm is there to insure your homeowners. Okay? Now, here's the problem. You got to realize with State Farm.
Good market share, doing a good job, a lot of customers.
When you look at State Farm, he says, right now, this is part of the story, the administrative judge, independent administrative judge, non-binding order, which found State Farm is in serious financial stress and recommended a $400 million cash infusion from its parent company. Their parent company is, I think, State Farm Automobile and Insurance Company, something like that. Mm-hmm. Then you have State Farm. Why do they need $400 million infusion? They're not making money. So guess what? They're saying 21%. They lowered to 17%. California homeowners can't afford that. 15% for renters in a condo, 38% for renters in a house, which in California, in many cases, you're renting a house from somebody else. You're paying at 38%. That's an increase on top of what it already is. But guess what the alternative is? Complain about it. State Farm leaves. State Farm leaves. The mortgage doesn't get approved. The mortgage doesn't get approved. The real estate industry goes into shambles. The real estate industry goes into shambles. And the tweet that Vinny just sent, Rob, if you can pull this one up. This is a tweet that Vinny just sent from Mario Nafal. This is what it takes to afford to buy a house today in America. Check this out.
How crazy is that, Pat?
For a 3-bedroom house, this is what you need to make to be able to afford a 3-bedroom house in America. Zoom in a little bit, Rob, if you could. If you could zoom in a little bit. Look at that. California,
Jeez.
210. There's only one state that's higher than that, and it's Massachusetts, 216.
Weird. Wow.
Okay,
And
you
New
got
York,
Washington.
does he watch it? Look at
New York's 190.
Jeez.
You got Washington, 175. Montana, 177. Utah, 169. Idaho, 163. And then you go lower. Jersey's 57. Connecticut's 44. Rhode Island's 41. Texas is
Hawaii,
half.
Hawaii.
Texas is half of California.
Gosh, why were people driving there?
Just by moving from California to Texas, you save 55%, 52%. Alaska's 122, but go to Hawaii.
Look at Hawaii.
Hawaii's the
29,
most.
and look where Florida's at, 125. Do you think there's a reason why people from New York are moving to Florida?
Yeah,
there's
cost
a
of
reason
living.
for that. But remember, the fear here lies where? If you don't allow State Farm to make money in your state, they will say goodbye. And your real estate industry, the realtors are sitting there shivering because they saw data that came out last year, the fact that 7% of mortgages and sales weren't closing because the people that were buying the house were not qualifying for the homeowners insurance. And they're like, man, I can't afford to pay this homeowners insurance. I'm out. Adam, your thoughts on this?
Well, if you live in California, the number one thing that comes to mind to me is the math ain't mathing. How the hell can you
Don't go to
afford?
Vinny, but keep
Okay,
go
okay,
ahead.
okay.
Adam,
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I'm not
going to make you do math,
Just,
Vinny.
okay.
I got you. Give me
How
your
old are
hand.
you,
I
Vinny?
got you.
Plus one.
48.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
But just the math ain't mathing. So, we talked about this, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago about everyone's so focused on the minimum wage. What's the minimum wage? What's the minimum wage? Forget about the minimum wage. What is the living wage? I don't know, Robert, if you can pull that up real quick, but I think the living wage, they're fighting for like $20 an hour in California, whatever they're talking about. But the living wage to be able to live in California, just live, is $28 per hour, which would math it out for me, what, $56,000 a year, the median income. So here's what I'm seeing in terms of where people are moving. Now there's sort of like a regress of people moving out of Florida and even moving out of Texas, sort of the reversion to the mean. But here's the challenge that I think people, companies, states are going to have. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, remote work from home, work from anywhere really wasn't a thing, especially before COVID. Now it is. So you don't have to live in the place where you can make the most income. So a lot of people are basically looking at it saying, all right, it costs how much to live in Hawaii, in California, what have you? I could just go move to Tennessee or Texas, but get a job in California, get a job in New York, work remote, do the math. The number one thing that I would say to people is this: as much as you can, keep your flexibility high and your overhead low. If you can keep your overhead very low and stay flexible, especially these days, if you're able to work from anywhere, you could survive this massive increase in the cost of living in America today.
Yeah, I mean, this is scary for what's going on with California. I mean, when you're looking at wanting to live there, people have to answer that basic question. Would I rather take that money and paying taxes to California, thinking it's going to get better, or would I rather move to a Nevada, which is 70K less, that's a 33% savings, or Arizona, 33% savings, or Texas, 50% savings, and use that additional money to give to my kids for college, for future investment, for future business, for my own retirement? Is your decision you're making today allowing you to take care of the older version of you one day you'll be? You're one day going to be 70 years old. Is a 70-year-old version of you happy with the decisions you're making on the way you're managing your finances? Only you can answer that question. The rest of us can't. That comes to you. Adam, I want to continue to the next
I want to ask
story.
you a question.
Yeah.
The cost of living as a man,
Yeah.
does it increase or decrease as you get older?
What do you think?
It gets higher.
Not even a question.
Not even a question. So I see all these people on my neck that ask me questions. Hey, Adam, I'm 28. I'm 32. I haven't started investing yet. I haven't really started saving it. I'm really trying to figure this thing out. And I asked them, do you think that life is going to get cheaper or more expensive as you hit 35, 40? And they go, that's a good question. Life's only going to get more expensive. So if you don't figure this out now in your 20s and 30s, by the time
What
you're
was
40
that word
and 50,
you used, Tom? Can you
screwed.
bring back that word you used? I don't think he heard anything you said.
The caboose?
Caboose.
The caboose word like went over here.
Well, as you guys know, in 2 weeks, Mondays at the 26th is Memorial Day. And, everybody, and I get it. It's time off, barbecues, we get to hang out, we get to drink. I mean, I'm not drinking, but, it is, that day isn't all about that. It's remembering the brave men and women who fought and fell to give us every single freedom, every single right that we have. And at Valuetainment, we don't take that freedom lightly. We know it's brought with blood and encouraged. So we got something on Memorial Day. We have a Memorial Day collection right here. We have the hats, Army, Navy, what else? Air Force. We got it all. So if you guys want to go to that section, and as the video is playing, we have a if you purchase anything in a Memorial Day package, you get a sticker pack of every single branch, and you get a free American flag keychain. If you go to vtmerch.com, that's where it's going to be.
Go to vtmerch.com and place your order, folks. And if it isn't for you, if you know somebody that has or served in the military, send it to them. On top of that, Rob, did I send you that picture? This puts the biggest smile on my face. This is one of the best things about the Future Looks Bright brand is you get to put a smile on somebody else's face. Here's somebody that bought the lemon campaign that we did, Zest It Forward, and send it to someone. And look what it says here. I love that smile. Mother's Day can feel different when the kids are grown and the nest is empty, but your journey as a mom doesn't end. It just evolves along with you. Let's take a moment to celebrate strength, wisdom, sense of humor, and the love of the empty nester moms who continue to nurture, support, and inspire even from afar. We deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated every day. How awesome is that? And look at the smile she's got there, Rob. If you want to go to the next pages, she got the box, she got the card, she got the video, she got the hat. So if you're somebody that's saying, I was never in the military, but make a list of a handful of people, make their day, send something to them, put a smile on their faces. Sometimes we just need to, one of the ways to cheer yourself up is make somebody else's day. It's always been my way of doing it. If I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, let me find a way to make somebody else's day. I feel better about it. So go place an order, zest it forward, make someone's day by visiting vtmerch.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.